Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing good. This is lesson number 2 of chapter 3 decimals. Today we are going to learn about the multiplication of decimals. Let us discuss some rules. First of all, decimal multiplication by 10 or by the multiples of 10. So when a decimal number is multiplied by 10, 100, 1000, etc., the decimal point shifts to the right by as many places as there are zeros in the multiplier. This is the first rule. Now multiplication of decimal by any number. What are the rules? First, treat the decimal number like a whole number and multiply with the other number. Second, place the decimal point in the product after as many digits from the right as decimal points given in the decimal number. Now multiplication of decimal with decimal. What are the rules? Let us discuss. First, treat the decimal numbers like whole numbers and multiply. Second, place the decimal point in the product after as many digits from the right as the sum of the decimal points given in the decimal numbers. So these rules are there when you are dealing with the multiplication of decimals, but it will not be clear to you. First, we will move on and discuss these points by the help of examples. So let us move on to the examples.
Multiplication of decimals by 10, 100, 1000. Hello kids, today we shall multiply decimals by 10, 100 and 1000. So let's begin. Let's take the decimal 3.146. When we multiply a decimal by 10, we shift the decimal point one place to the right. Thus, 3.146 into 10 is equal to 31.46. In the same way, when we multiply a decimal by 100, the decimal point shifts two places to the right. Thus, 3.146 into 100 is equal to 314.6. Similarly, when we multiply a decimal by 1000, the decimal point shifts three places to the right. Thus, 3.146 into 1000 is equal to 3146. Remember, to multiply by 10, 100, 1000, shift the decimal point as many places to the right as there are zeros after 1. Now, let's solve a story problem. The length of a ribbon is 2.58 meters. What is the total length of 1000 such ribbons? Let's write the statements first. The length of one piece of ribbon is equal to 2.58 meters. Number of such pieces is equal to 1000. Therefore, total length of 1000 such pieces is equal to 2.58 into 1000. On multiplying, we get the answer as 2580. Thus, the total length of 1000 such pieces is 2580 meters. Wasn't it easy? Multiplying by 10, 100 and 1000?
In this video, we are going to focus on multiplying numbers with decimals. So let's start with a basics example first. What is 4.6 multiplied by 7? Well, first we need to multiply 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. So we need to put the first number 2 and carry over the 4. Next, let's multiply 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28 and we need to add the 4 on top. 28 plus 4, that is 32. Now notice that we have one number to the right of a decimal point. So therefore in our answer we should have one number to the right of a decimal point. So the answer is 32.2. Now let us try another example. Let's multiply 3.9 by 5. 12.6. Feel free to try this one if you want to. So first let's multiply 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54. So we are going to write the 4 and then we are going to carry over the 5. Next, let's multiply 3 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18 and 18 plus 5 is 23. Now, let's move on to the 5. Let's multiply 5 and 9. 5 times 9 is 45. So we need to write the 5, but we need to add a 0 first and then we'll write the 5, carry over the 4. Next, let's multiply 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 4, that is going to be 19. Now what we need to do is add the 4 plus 0, which is 4, 3 plus 5, 8, 2 plus 9, 11, 1 carry over 1, 1 plus 1 plus 2 is now, we have two numbers to the right of decimal point. So in the final answer also we have two numbers to the right of decimal point. So the answer is 21.84. Let's multiply 12.9 by 3.7. Feel free to try this problem. So first let's multiply 9 times 7. 9 times 7 is 63. So we are going to write the 3 and carry over the 6. Next, let's multiply 2 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 6, that's going to be 20. So we are going to write the 0 and carry over the 2. Next, we have 1. 1 times 7, which is 7. 7 plus 2, that is equal to 9. And now, let's add a 0. Let's get rid of these numbers. So now we are going to multiply 3 times 9. 3 times 9 is 27. Let's carry over the 2 and then we'll multiply 2 times 3, which is 6. 6 plus 2 is going to be 8. And then finally 1 time, which is just doing now, let's add the numbers. 3 plus 0 is 3. 0 plus 7, 7. And 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now you have two numbers to the right of decimal point. So in the final answer also you will have two numbers to the right of decimal point. Therefore the answer is 47.73. Let's continue working on some more examples. Let's multiply 14.56 by 2.8. So let's start with 8. 8 times 6 is 48. Let's carry over the 4. Next we have 8 times 5, which is 40. 40 plus 4, so that's 44. And we are going to carry over the 4. And then 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 4, that is 36. So let's write 6 and then carry over the 3. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3, that is 11. So now let's get rid of these numbers. Let's get rid of these numbers. Let's add a 0 and then let's multiply 2 times 6, which is 12. Carry over the 1 and then 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 1, that is 11. So let's carry over the next one. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. And then 1 times 2 is just 2. So now we can add. So this is going to be 8 plus 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 1 plus 9 is 10. Carry over the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now where shall we put the decimal? So looking at the original problem, the first number has 2 digits to the right of a decimal point and the second number only has 1. Therefore our final answer should have a total of 3 numbers to the right of the decimal point. So the answer is 40.768. Now let us move on to some harder examples. Let us multiply 13.79 by 5.46. So go ahead and try this problem. Let's begin by multiplying 9 by 6. 9 times 6 is 54 and let's add the 5 on top. Next we have 7 times 6 which is 42. 42 plus 5, so that is 47. Let's write 7 and carry 4. Next we have 6 times 3 which is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. And now let's add the other two. They are 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2. Now don't forget to add a 0. So we are done with 6. Let's move on to 4. 4 times 9 is 36. So let's add a 3 and then 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 3 is 31. So let's carry over the 3 and then 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. So let's write 5 and carry over the 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 plus 1 that is 5. So now we are going to move on to 5. Let's get rid of the numbers on top. And let's add a 0. Actually this time I'm going to add 2 zeros. So now 5 times 9 is 45 and then 5 times 7 is 35. 35 plus carry 4 is 39. Carry over the 3. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3 that is 18 and then 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 that is 6. So now let's add the numbers. So this is 4, 7 plus 6, 13 carry 1, then 2 plus 1 plus 5, 8 plus 1 9, then 9 plus 5 is 14, 14 plus 8 is 22 carry 2, 8 plus 2 10 plus 5 15 carry 1 and 6 plus 1 7. Now where shall we put the decimal? So looking at the original numbers, the first number has two numbers to the right of the decimal point and the second number also have two numbers. So therefore our final answer should have a total of 4 digits to the right of the decimal point, which means our answer is 75.2934. Now if you have your calculator, you can confirm all of these answers. So if you type it in 13.79 times 5.46, this is indeed 75.2934. So now you know how to multiply two numbers that contain decimal numbers. So every time you need to add a new line, don't forget to add a 0. So I hope you kids have understood what we studied today. So based on that, here are some practice problems which I am giving you. Do try them in the rough notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.